Welcome back to Game Night tonight for another unboxing of DC deck building game crossover pack number 2. It's the Arrow television series. So this is another one of the crossover packs. There are, I think, 7 or 8 right now for the DC deck building game. But this one, it's going to add different characters from our television series, the Arrow. Just set that aside. So first and foremost, we're going to get into this. If you haven't played the DC deck building game, I highly suggest it. It's one of our favorites here in this house. You're a different super hero or super villain, depending on what it is, which base version you're using, but you are going against the other super villains or the other superheroes, again, based on which situation, and you're trying to beat out the other players in the game to be able to come out on top with the most victory points. But you're ultimately fighting off the opposite of what you are, the hero or super villain. So in this pack, we've got the DC deck building game crossover pack 2. You've got the instructions, which will specify the different new rules and clarify the different wording and verbiage that they use on the cards. So there you have a card that will help you identify what those new aspects of the game are. So then we move right into our superheroes from that television series. So of course we've got Oliver Queen, and I will draw your attention here at the bottom. It will say the crossover 2 so that you know exactly which cards go with which crossover pack, so that at the end of the game you can sort them all out, divvy them back up, and remash them up for a new game each time you play. But you got Oliver Queen. I'm going to be going through these quick, so if you need to stop the video or pause it to look at the powers, go ahead and do so. You got Roy Harper. You've got Felicity Smoke. You've got John Diggle and Sarah Lance. So not a ton of heroes, but there's still enough to like mix it up, make it a little bit different if you're choosing to use those. I can never get these guys to come off. All right, work this time. Nice. Usually I have to cut into these. But these are the new cards that come with this particular crossover pack. So from the equipment, it looks like we have Explosive Arrow. It's an attack. So Arrow's bow. You got Collapsible Staff. Gain all the villains in the lineup and put them under your superhero. So this looks like it's going to be adding different characters and cards underneath your superhero to make it more powerful. All right, and this is our first hero, Laurel Lance. So interesting seeing the television series artwork as opposed to the original comic book artwork that they're using on all of the other crossover packs and in the game, base game itself. Moira Queen. We've got Shadow. She's a defense, which is nice. Detective Lance. And you got a location, Verdant. It's an ongoing. Locations that are typically ongoing. Got superpowers, more ongoing. Nice. And then you got Mirakura. If you failed the city, it's an attack. It looks like there's a lot more attacks coming off of the equipments and superpowers. Usually it's the villains who have the attacks, which here's another one, Mr. Blank. He's got an attack. And then you've got Huntress. Bronze Tiger. And of course, the super villains that you will be facing in this particular crossover pack, if you so choose, you've got Edward Fires, China White, Deadshot, Count Vertigo, Malcolm Merlin, Brother Blood, Isabel Rochev, and Slade Wilson to wrap it all up. So again, it adds more villains, different characters from that television series, but also in that universe of the Arrow. So there you have it. You got new superheroes, new supervillains to face. You got your instructions all wrapped up into this one little tiny package of the crossover pack number 2 for the DC deck building game. This is the Arrow television series version. So this game will add a little bit more to the base game if you choose. It adds more rules, more things that will make your cards more powerful, your superheroes more powerful. It just adds a different dimension to the game, making it a little bit more fun. But that wraps up this unboxing of DC Deck Building Game Crossover Pack number 2, the Arrow Television Series. So join us again next time for another unboxing or game playthrough, what have you. But we will see you next time on Game Night Tonight.